हरि ओम्। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीं प्रपन्नपारिजाताय तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। Bhagavad Gita, a conversation with God daily. In this series today, chapter 9, shloka number 20. Traividya mam somapah putapapa yajnairištva swargatim prarthayante te punyamasadya surendralokam ashnanti divyan divideva bhogan. Yesterday, it was explained how even though God is worshipped in many ways, as many gods, all worship actually reaches that Supreme Brahman. Krishna explains how he is everything, how he is actually the result of any action. He is the one who nourishes everybody, and he is the abode where everyone resides. He is the friend of everyone, and how he is actually the act of offering. The actual offering is himself. How he is the ghee, he is the fire, he is the God of that yajna. When everything is only he, so worshipping anybody actually means only worshipping him. Today, that topic is continued. Traividya mam somapaha Putapapa yajnairištva. Here, it is explained about those who desire various things, those who have materialistic desires. Traividya, those who have the knowledge of the three Vedas, that is, they perform all the yajnas that are mentioned in the three Vedas, and by performing those yajnas, as the prasad of that yajna, they partake the soma rasa, and because of that all their sins are destroyed, and they actually desire to attain Swarga. For that they are performing these yajnas, and having attained those punyas, as a result of performing those yajnas, they attain the loka, the world of Devendra. And there, in that world, they enjoy all the pleasures of the devas. All Divyan Divi Deva Bhogan. They don't belong to this world. Such extraordinary special pleasures meant exclusively for that world. Those pleasures they enjoy. ते तं भुक्त्वा स्वर्गलोकं विशालं क्षीणे पुण्ये मर्त्यलोकं विशन्ति एवं त्रयी धर्ममनुप्रपन्ना गतागतं कामकामा लभन्ते. And ते तं भुक्त्वा स्वर्गलोकं विशालं, having enjoyed all the pleasures of that स्वर्गलोका, क्षीणे पुण्ये मर्त्यलोकं विशन्ति. Once all their punyas get exhausted, they again come back to this world of death. I said the other day, if you go to a foreign country, then you can stay there only as long as your visa permits you. Once your visa expires, then you will have to return to your country. Similarly, you can stay there in Swarga only as long as your punyas exist. Once your punyas get exhausted, you have spent everything, no more punyas on hand, your balance is now zero, then you will have to come back. You will be born again. एवं त्रयी धर्मम अनुप्रपन्ना गतागतं काम कामा labante. So they are born again on this earth and again they perform various dharmas mentioned in the Vedas. Whatever desires they have, in order to satisfy those desires, they perform various karmas, and as a result of those they attain Swarga, and again once those punyas get exhausted, they are again born again on this earth. So they keep going and coming back in the cycle of birth and death. They are caught in that, and every time they are born, they actually experience the suffering of hell. The Garbhavasa is equated to suffering in hell. And once we are born, we actually forget whatever we experienced there. So again, we are actually running around in this world again and again, being born on this earth. अनन्याश्चिन्तयन्तो मां ये जनाः पर्युपासते तेषां नित्याभियुक्तानां योगक्षेमं वहाम्यहम्. The two shlokas actually now explained about those who desire for various things. And now in this shloka, Ananyas Chintayanto Mam, those who actually think themselves as that Supreme Brahman itself. For Ananyaha, two types of explanations are available. The Shankara Bhashyam says, Apritak bhutaha param devam narayanam atmatvena gataha. They don't separate themselves from that Brahman. They always think, I am that Supreme Brahman. They are that Supreme Brahman themselves. With that attitude, they actually worship me. and I take care of them. Yogatshemam vahamyaham. Yogatshemam. Yogaha means apraptasya prapanam. Whatever you don't have, getting that, attaining that is yoga. And kshemam is safeguarding whatever you already have, protecting it. That is kshemam. So, in the case of such people who are themselves that Brahman, they know nothing. For them everything is Brahman. They are in that state. I take care of them in all ways. Because they are just incapable of anything. When there is just nothing other than yourself, everything is one single entity, that Brahman, and you are that. So, what is it that you can do thereafter? They are just incapable of even taking care of themselves, their own body also. They are just incapable of protecting it. And so, God actually takes care of them. Dehayatra matrarthamapi aprayattamananam. They don't put in any effort even to fulfill the basic needs of the body. But they are there on this earth. That body should be fed. That body should be clothed. It must be protected from heat and cold. And God does that. In the life history of Adi Shankara, we have an incident where the Kapalikas, they are actually looking for somebody to sacrifice for the Lord. And they see Adi Shankara and they tell him, you keep saying, I am not this body, I am that Pratyagatma Swarupam, and you feel this body is just nothing, but for us this body is very precious. Why don't you better give it to us? We will sacrifice it and we will attain so many things. And Adi Shankara, he says, okay, no problem. You just wait for some time. I'll sit, and when I'm into Samadhi, you can do whatever you want with my body. And he sits with the thought, I'm that Brahman. And within a few minutes, he is that Brahman himself. He has become that. And he's just totally oblivious to everything. These Kapalikas, very happy, they just take a big sword and they are about to sacrifice Adi Shankara. And that Brahman, it is now worried. It actually, in the form of Adi Shankara's disciple, Padmapada, immediately comes roaring, and he actually tears apart all the Kapalikas just with his nails. He becomes Lord Narasimha himself. With his very nails, he tears apart, kills all of them, and Adi Shankara is protected. After some time, he gains consciousness and he realizes what happened. So, God took it upon himself to save that devotee who looked upon himself as that Brahman itself. He is not different from that Brahman. In the case of such devotees, I look after everything. The other day we saw the story of Jadabharata. There also, he was actually taken away to be sacrificed for goddess Kali. He is beautifully dressed. And finally, when they are about to kill him, Kali herself, she appears and kills all those present there and protects Jadabharata. And Jadabharata is just sitting, oblivious to everything that is happening around him. Totally not at all bothered. When he was made to sit, to be sacrificed like a sacrificial lamb, he was not bothered. They beautifully dressed him in silk robes with all ornaments, everything. He was not bothered. And they were about to kill him. He was not bothered. And the goddess herself appears before him in order to save him. He is not bothered. And she kills everyone. And she plays throw ball with the heads of all of them, with her friends, it is said. And he's just not bothered, he's just sitting. Totally. He is just not at all affected by whatever is happening around him. So, Ananyas Chintayanto Mam Ye Janaha. Such people who are those Brahman themselves. And there is another explanation. Ananyas Chintayanto Mam Ye Janaha Paryupasate. Those devotees who worship me without any thoughts of any other god. They don't think about any other god or anything else. They are totally devoted only to me. Ekanta Bhakti. They know no other god other than Krishna. Totally devoted. They know no other god other than Panduranga. Such devotees, in their case, I take care of them. And we have so many incidents in the life histories of so many devotees. There was one devotee called Raidas. He was a devotee of Panduranga. He was a cobbler, one who made slippers. And it was the time of war. So the king had ordered that each cobbler must make hundreds of slippers, many hundreds, within a particular time. And this Raidas, he keeps doing, but totally devoted to Panduranga. He always keeps singing bhajans, dancing, thinking of Panduranga, lost in Panduranga's form and beauty, totally forgets everything about the outer world. Like this it happens often. And again, when he regains consciousness, he immediately starts working. He makes those slippers. But now, the last date has come. The slippers are to be submitted. the next day. But Raidas is nowhere near the required number. And just right at that time, a very young boy, he comes there and he asks Raidas, is there any work available for me? And Raidas says, yes, I have to make so many slippers before tomorrow. No problem, sir, don't worry, I'll do it for you. Who are you? I am Rangavittala. I have no father, no mother. So, I'll be very happy if you give me a job and you take care of me. Sure. And that Rangavittala, within that one single night, he makes the required number of slippers, and the next day early morning, he says, I'll go take bath and come. He goes. And it's now the time to go to the court. So Raidas, taking all the slippers, he goes and he gives them. The king is very happy and he pays Raidas very well. Now Raidas comes back, taking all the money with him, and he thinks while coming back, I should go pay that boy very well. If he had not come yesterday, I wouldn't have been able to complete my task. Thinking so, he returns home, and that Rangavittala has not yet returned. And Raidas thinks, oh, let me go to the river bank and look for him. He said he is going there to take bath. He goes there and he calls, Ranga, Ranga, Ranga. No sign of Rangavittala. And as he keeps calling out, suddenly he realizes, oh, the person who had come must be that Panduranga himself. And he sheds tears. O Lord, the Lord of the 14 worlds, you came for my sake and you made slippers. Raidas is just, what will be his condition? He keeps shedding tears, thinking of the great compassion of his Lord. So, when a devotee is totally immersed in me and he knows nothing other than me, then I take care of all his needs. येऽप्यन्य देवता भक्ता यजन्ते श्रद्धयान्विताः तेऽपि मामेव कौन्तेय यजन्ति अविधिपूर्वकम्. Okay, then what about the others who actually worship other gods? Those who worship other gods with real sincerity, they also, Arjuna, actually worship me only. But avidhi purvakam, without knowing the actual fact. They worship with ignorance. Aham hi sarva yajnanam bhokta cha prabhureva cha natu mam abhijananti tatvena tascha vantite. What he said before. Aham hi sarva yajnanam bhokta cha prabhureva cha. I am the enjoyer of all yajnas and I am the master of all yajnas. To whichever god an yajna is performed, it actually reaches only me. But people don't understand this. They don't understand my nature. And so they actually fall. They are actually born again on this earth. If they realize that I am everything. When one performs a yajna, Indraya Swaha, Agnaye Swaha, offering everything. If you feel this is offered to Indra, then it reaches Indra. And whatever can be offered by Indra, you get. But when you offer it, Indraya Swaha, you offer it with the feeling. Lord Indra is none other than that Supreme Brahman. So I am offering it to that Brahman. Everything is that Brahman. With that feeling, all devas are actually various parts of that Supreme God. With that feeling, if you are going to do that very same yajna, then the result you get is also supreme. You actually get that Supreme God Himself. So, unaware of this, they worship other gods out of ignorance and they attain lesser results, smaller gains, inferior gains, and they are born again and again on this earth. We'll stop with this for today. We'll continue tomorrow. Hari Om.